Hello, I'm CJ Wellerman, and today we bring to you the Zionist Army's confession tapes, in which Israeli soldiers confess to committing war crimes against Palestinians. First, please remember to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. Israel's mass extermination program in Gaza is the most documented live-streamed genocide in the history of mass murder. But due to the corrupting and pernicious influence of the Israeli lobby, it's also the most denied genocide in history. With the media working overtime to run interference for Israel, publishing one article after another to divert criticism and attention away from the Zionist army, while it butchers 60,000 innocent people inside the world's largest concentration camp. A crime of genocide carried out with the help of the US government's lies and propaganda.
We do not believe what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. We have been firmly on record rejecting that proposition.
Every half-decent journalist is sick and tired of having to counter and debunk every lie told by the United States government in its servitude of defending Israel from credible allegations of genocide. We have all had a gutful of it, particularly because everyone can see with their own eyes what's happening in Gaza. On one hand, you have Palestinians recording their own deaths, and on the other, you have Israeli soldiers filming their war crimes and then uploading for the entire world to see on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Israeli soldiers are shameless about recording their criminality because they know the US and Israeli governments will not only deny and whitewash their crimes, but will also forcefully accuse the Palestinians of doing the same thing Israel is doing to them. The US is so corrupted by Israeli influence that it even turns a blind eye to its own citizens being murdered by Israeli soldiers. But all of this propaganda, manipulation and deceit falls apart when you listen to the actual testimonies from Israeli soldiers, who have come forward at great personal cost to themselves to confess their crimes in chilling detail, to reveal the horrors they carried out against Palestinian men, women and children. And we start with the fact that every Israeli soldier who invaded Gaza's territory did so with an order to shoot and kill anything that moves.
He is one of a dozen Israeli soldiers who described the demolitions and enforcement of the buffer zone to breaking the silence, an Israeli watchdog group that verifies and publishes soldiers' testimonials. Some also described how the buffer zone has been turned into a kill zone for Palestinians. A sergeant first class in the Armored Corps described the rules of engagement. Adult male, kill, shoot to kill. For women and children, shoot to drive away. People were incriminated for having bags in their hands. A warrant officer in the IDF said, "Guy showed up with a bag, incriminated terrorists. I believe they came to pick khubeza, an edible plant. But the army says no, they're hiding." Boom.
Another Israeli soldier confessed to destroying homes and buildings for no reason, and that they routinely used Palestinians as human shields. One brigade officer told an Israeli newspaper that Israeli soldiers used Palestinians as human shields at least 6 times per day in the 9 months he served in Gaza. I mean, there you have it. Israel has long defended its war crimes by falsely accusing Hamas of using human shields when in reality the opposite is true, proving once again that every Zionist accusation is a confession.
Now, for the first time on camera, an Israeli soldier is coming forward with his own account, describing how his infantry unit used 2 Palestinians as human shields.
We told them to enter the building before us. If there are any booby traps, they will explode and not us.
We've blurred.
There's not one piece of evidence, not one document or photograph that proves Hamas used their own friends, family members and neighbors as human shields, mostly because the allegation is utterly preposterous. Meanwhile, Israel is so shamelessly evil that it's happy to tie injured civilians to the front of their military jeeps to shield its soldiers from incoming fire.
The Israeli soldiers were laughing and mocking me while beating me to death. 2 Israeli soldiers grabbed my hands and 2 others my feet, then started swinging me left and right. I fell to the ground twice, and on the 3rd attempt, they shoved me over the hood. It was extremely hot that my back was burnt. They drove me back and forth for 20 minutes. I had hoped to be dead before the Israeli soldiers arrived. I had expected them to attend to my wounds, not to beat and batter me, while I already had 2 critical injuries.
Despite dozens of Israeli soldiers confessing to the deliberate and systematic use of Palestinian civilians as human shields, the US government provides political cover for Israel by casually dismissing Israeli confessions as unverified reports, while at the same time it accuses Hamas of using human shields but without providing evidence.
Palestinians as human shields, and there is this big investigation now by an Israeli newspaper saying that the Israeli army has systematically using Palestinians as a human shield because they believe their lives is superior to the Palestinians. So do you condemn the Israelis for using Palestinians for the same purpose that you condemn Hamas?
So your colleague Saeed raised this issue before you walked in, and I will just echo that these reports are incredibly disturbing, and we urge Israel to immediately and transparently look into these allegations and hold any perpetrators accountable. But I also just want to stress, as I did with Saeed, that these are just reports at this point, and so what we would call on is for Israel to look into this and ascertain what's actually going on.
So let's make these reports and Hamas using Palestinians as human shields as fact on the ground. You're not there and you don't really verify.
Nadia, we have.
The BBC's reporting of this incident speaks to the moral rot that sits inside every newsroom in the West. I mean, it can't even bring itself to describe the Palestinian man as a human shield, saying only that he was strapped to the front of the Jeep. This same BBC, however, has no problem in mindlessly parroting Israel's unsubstantiated accusations against Hamas while deliberately ignoring this.
We've burned down buildings for no reasons, which is violating the international law, of course, and we used human shields as protection.
He told us his commander ordered his unit to use civilians instead of dogs to search buildings for explosives.
They were Palestinian. We sent them in first to see if the building was clear and check for booby traps. They were trembling and shaking.
The internet is filled with drunk Israeli soldiers confessing their crimes to journalists and strangers online. But funnily enough, these confessions are totally ignored by the media, even when there's no disputing their newsworthiness.
My unit was in charge of explosions. We blew up houses of terrorists, mosque, UN offices. I remember we got into some UN office that was in charge of helping families in Gaza that was affected by the war, and we destroyed it.
There was 2 little children who play football. So what did I do? I took my weapon and I shot them in.
One of the strangest places to find Israeli soldiers confessing to war crimes and genocide is at the funeral services of their fallen comrades, where details of their criminality are eulogized and celebrated by friends and family alike.
נתקלנו בזה לראשונה בעזה כששרפת הבית בלי אישור בשביל האווירה.
ריבונו של עולם! חוטאים נקמה! חוטאים נקמה! אתה נכנסת לעזה בשביל לנקום! כמה שיותר נשים, ילדים, כל מי שהיית! זה מה שרצית! וביום הזה, שנה אחרי שמחת תורה שחשבנו שנטבח באויב, נטבח בכולם, נגרש אותם מפה מהארץ. אנחנו פה בהלוויה שלך. שמים אותך בתוך הקבר.
A new investigation by Breaking the Silence, a non-profit organization comprising former Israeli soldiers, reveals the systematic destruction of Palestinian property in Gaza to create so-called buffer zones, by forcibly displacing hundreds of thousands of people and then shooting and killing anyone who refuses to move.
Inside Gaza, swaths of land closest to the Israeli border have been turned into a wasteland. Nearly every building within about a half a mile of the border fence has been destroyed. We filmed this footage a year ago, while demolitions were still ongoing. Over time, the Israeli military has razed about 22 square miles of Palestinian land, creating a buffer zone on about 16% of Gaza's territory. It is a no-go zone for Palestinians, some of whom have been killed after setting foot inside the unmarked perimeter.
Other investigations have compiled a database of Israeli soldiers confessing to demolishing homes without necessity, stripping and torturing detainees, gunning down unarmed civilians and children, and looting property.
Now the control of this country is held by Jewish supremacist Nazis that are the worst of the worst. All these countries in the West are taking indirectly part in this genocide. And the fact that they do not stop their participation is the reason that this genocide continues. I started asking myself different questions. Most of them happened during the Second Intifada, when I was already an officer. What I started seeing is that the Israeli Air Force is being sent to assassinate people, whether in Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon. And although I was flying rescue helicopters, so I didn't have to participate in these crimes myself, I started realizing that these are actually acts of terror. It's just shocking to think that the world is just letting it happen again and again.
As we stated clearly in a recent episode, it's vitally critical we do everything we can to identify, locate, and arrest every soldier guilty of committing war crimes and genocide. It really can't be said often and loud enough that our failure to hold genocide perpetrators accountable for their crimes will pave the way for future genocide. So let's go get them. But that's all the time we have for today. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, and we kindly ask you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWellerman. We can't produce, sustain, and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning, wherever you are, and stay blessed.